So, working at a rehab, I really like to teach a group based on this concept of what is the difference between isolation and being alone, and what is the difference between belonging versus connection. And that's what this video is going to talk about. So, loneliness is draining, distracting, and uncomfortable. I feel like I can't connect to myself and I can't connect with others. And I might even be in a room full of people or people that I should feel like I'm connected to, but yet I feel drained and uncomfortable and like I can't connect. And I get into my mind fuck. And when I get into my mind fuck, I become in pain. And when I become in pain, the body, as the subconscious mind, says, ooh, I really don't like this. So I'm going to avoid pain by doing something that makes me feel a bit more comfortable. And in extreme versions of this, it can turn into addiction. And in the extreme versions of the addiction, I might tend to find myself in isolation. And all of this is going to become a root fundamental feeling of shame, which is I am unworthy of love, respect, and connection. Therefore, I hate myself, I betray myself, and I disconnect from people and myself. And so I numb out through sex, through gambling, through food, and through alcohol or drugs. And I tend to just isolate and I can't connect to anything or anybody, and it just perpetuates that mindfuck hellhole of a reality. And the more I'm in that, the more distorted it becomes. The more distorted it becomes, the more disconnected I get. And so that's definitely a negative momentum that happens that is really unfortunate. And so if you find yourself in that space, please feel free to reach out. There's nothing wrong with you. It is a mindfuck distortion, and you are not alone. But please feel free to reach out to somebody or a place that can get you the help you need. The difference between lonely and being alone. Again, loneliness is draining, distracting, and uncomfortable, but being alone is refreshing, rejuvenating. It's solitude and it's connection. Having alone time is when I can be with myself, learn about myself, and connect to myself because I love, respect, and connect to myself. I love, respect, and connect to my time. I love, respect, and connect to who I am being. And so I find things that align to my values. I find things that bring my soul upliftment. I find things that make me feel joyful, that make me come alive, that make me feel refreshed and rejuvenated. And if you are somebody who is introverted, you are going to find yourself wanting a little bit more alone time than going out and getting that belonging or connection. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So it's important to have alone time because if I don't have alone time, I might end up finding myself being a tumbleweed with the group think and losing myself with what other people think I should be or who I should behave like and what I should like, rather than the truth of what I actually do like, what does bring me alive. And so I have to actually go through alone time. And if you are a high extrovert, this is going to be very challenging for you because you're not going to like alone time. But setting a little bit of a little time block of like a when and then, when I practice being alone for maybe 30 minutes of like reading or meditating or prayer, right? Or listening to music or getting into art or taking a walk, right? Just to get to be with myself. Then I get to go out and go to the bowling league or go dancing or go, right, play basketball, whatever it is that gets you that sense of belonging. So, but it's very important that we have that alone time to connect with the truth of who I am so I don't get lost in my environment. The difference between belonging is we are hardwired for belonging. We have to have belonging. That's why we have a root chakra of belonging, and we have tribe belonging and families and things like that. And so it's really important that when I align myself to my values of what brings me nurturing, what brings me fulfillment, I choose people and places and situations that aligned with my values of belonging. So if I like art, I might end up finding myself in more artistic expressions of people. If I like movies, I might end up going to the movie theaters and becoming a person who aligns with people who watches movies, right? If I like reading, I might end up, joining a book club. If I like dancing, I might go to Zumba, which is what I do, or I might end up going to salsa dancing classes, right? I want to get a sense of belonging of people that I might not know with, but we have a same intention of what we are doing there. We are aligned with a sense of self-love, self-respect, and a self-care where we're all together doing the same thing. Even if you are somebody who is in recovery, going to meetings that are aligned with yourself, like Smart Recovery, AA, right? Meetup.com has some sober events, right? Doing something, if you're more spiritual, there's the Calm Spot I've been seeing online, and meditation where people get together, or a women's group, right? So you just want to find that sense of belonging where you don't really, might not know people yet, but everybody's coming together. And if you are introvert, find an extrovert to help you get out. And if you're an extrovert, find an introvert to take with, okay? So that's belonging. And then amongst that belonging, you're going to find connection. You're going to resonate with one or two people who you really can go out to dinner with and really talk with and really find that nurturing relationship that are really aligned with your values and you feel safe, vulnerable, transparent, authentic with. And it's more than just a group of people. You are really going to connect with those individuals. And so it's important that we find that balance of time. The balance of time of when am I going to spend time alone? When am I going to spend time in belonging? And when am I going to spend time nurturing those relationships with connection? So I hope this was helpful. I'm sending lots of love. Have a beautiful day, everybody.